So, back for another episode of Believe in Boyt with this double Intimidate team that was built in a Messify coaching session with a student. So this is going to be the last episode that I'm using this team for, so if you wanted to use this team, get it while you can. The team ID is in the top right, as well as in the description with a poker paste. Let's get into some battles. Oh, wow. Where's the steam engine activation? Like, I can't see it. Does Glade get surf? I don't think so, right? But at least there's a Excalibur, so that's cool. Indeedy's the only... No, Indeedy's not the only trick. Remember, Glade can do it as well. But I don't see too much stopping Brelim just sporing everything. So I'm going to go with that. Salamence is reasonable into everything except the Excalibur. And it technically is, but it could be Ice Sharded. Then I can just turn into a Fire type, so that wouldn't be the worst thing. So I will actually leave with Salamence. King Gambit is pretty reasonable here as well, and Arcanine is fine, but I need to be careful of Defiant on the King Gambit. Rotom is fine. Sylveon is fine. I think it's Rotom. Rotom's a bit extra insurance in case the Torkoal gets into Trick Room and could potentially get out of hand. That is a cool trainer card. A lot of people are going for sleeping Orangurus, so... Okay. Both of the potential Trick Room setters here. But which one would go for it? Well, at least it's not a Scarf Indeedee, because my Intimidate went first. But I shall attempt to spore the Indeedee, and what am I intending to terror in this game? Likely the King Gambit. So I will just Draco Meteor the Glade for some nice damage. Have to see how fast the Indeedee is, because if it's max speed, it'll outspeed the Breloom. Alright, yep, there we go. We're still going, Why not? There's something wrong with my dragons. Okay, Indeedee wasn't going for Trick Room, but it might have been Glade that was. It was, okay. That's a good start. Right, so now I spore the Glade, and I Draco Meteor the Indeedee instead. Wonderful. Would have loved that damage on the Glade. Oh, they have Taunt. Okay, fair enough. Okay. So, Indeedee's slow as well, so if it wakes up now, which it does, that's not good, because now they get to Dazzling Gleam as well, that's not good. Okay. Well, this one connects. That's almost an Oko, wow. Okay, Brelim can't taunt, so it's just gone to the Dazzling Gleam. But Salamence can protect. So I will switch into King Gambit here, and I will protect the Salamence. Not many downsides to that. Dazzling Gleam won't hurt too much. The only downside would be a Sacred Sword into the Breloom. And if they do that, then oh no. But if they don't, then my King Gambit should underspeed the Glade and just be able to Iron Head KO it before it would attack. So this is a bit risky, but it is much more beneficial for me if I just don't get Sacred Sworded on that slot. And they might see a super effective Psycho Cut and go for that instead. But if it's Sacred Sword, I am somewhat screwed. That is a Brick Break, but it was into the Salamence, so they were catching the King Gambit on that slot instead. That's fine. And yeah, Dazzling Gleam's not going to do much to this King Gambit at all. So this is okay. Yeah, that's not much damage. So now I didn't... Oh, yeah, because I didn't do damage to the Glade. Right, fine, I'll just Terra Blast KO it instead then. And then I will switch to Rotom. Because Dazzling Gleam won't do too much. Yeah, it would have been in range of Iron Heads, but yeah, I didn't connect with the Draco Meteor, so wonderful. I'm not sure why it has Brick Break instead of Sacred Sword. That seems a bit odd. We'll also see if it's Focus Sashed. Because the Indeedee's not max speed, so it's justifiably not Focus Sash. And I would expect Brick Break into the King Gambit slot if it is Sash. But we will see. It is not Sash. Good. Okay. And if it's Dazzling Gleam again, this is going to be somewhat negligible chip, but every bit helps when it comes to a Torkoal. So, especially getting a crit like that. Because if this is now Torkoal... When turns the Trick left? There's 2, isn't there? No, there's 1. Because it was Taunt, Brick Break, KO'd, and now it's 1 turn left. So that also means there's 1 turn left of the Psychic Terrain. That is Torkoal. So... Do I sacrifice anything? Because I can go into Breloom and just Spore and just Thunderbolt everything. It seems okay. So I expect them to get 2 KOs here. I don't think Rotom would survive. Just which is better? Salamence. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Breloom and Salamence as the sweep. So I will just attempt to Kowtow Cleave the Torkoal. I will attempt to Thunderbolt. Yeah, I'll attempt to Thunderbolt the Torkoal. I should lose it to a Fire-type Terror Eruption here. Not even a Fire-type Terror Eruption, but this should KO. Oh, it's not going to with the Dazzling Gleams. So I weaken the Torkoal, that's good. Might be better to actually go for the Indeedee there, because then that would have... well, yeah, clearly it was, because that would have KO'd the Indeedee, and then I wouldn't have lost the Rotom. But that's not the worst thing. I am incredibly low with all the Pokemon, so could be better. But it should be Salamence and Heat Wave here. Because Torkoal is not threatening. I am going for an inaccurate move. Yeah, definitely attacking Indeedee was better there, because keeping Rotom, getting a Thunderbolt into the Torkoal would have been better, so that was a misplay from me. But, yeah, now I will Kowtow Cleave the... it's a shame I don't have Assurance. Assurance would have been better. But I am relying on this Dragon here to connect with its moves. Thank you, Salamence. Thank you kindly. Okay, fine. Yeah, it does. That's good. That's good. Salamence doing its job like it's supposed to. Now I can somewhat safely Draco Meteor the Torkoal as well. Unless it's Baxcalibur. If it ends up being Baxcalibur, then I can just be Ice Shard KO'd, and then that's not good. I might need to Protect and Terra Blast the Baxcalibur. But it's Colossal instead. Okay, so that means I Draco Meteor the Torkoal, and I just Iron Head, potentially flinch the Colossal. And then Breloom should be able to beat the Colossal because it will Spore it, and then it will Mach Punch it a few times. So, it should be okay. Unless they get the double protect, of course. You know, that can be a thing. Now, would Heatwave KO both? Surely not, right? I would KO the King Gambit, but Salamence didn't take that extra round of Life Orb chip, so it shouldn't. And I'm going to flinch it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Not quite. But Salamence should live. Like so. But it's going to get burned, and then I'll be KO'd, so... But they are doing what they need to get back into the game. This is still okay, because I've still got Breloom. I can still Spore the Colossal and Draco Meteor the Torkoal, of course. And then I should... Well, I guess 2 Mach Punches will probably KO. But I do need to be able to connect with the Draco into both Colossal and Torkoal. If I do, then I definitely win. They probably should go for the triple attack. Or no, they should go for the dodge. They should surely go for the dodge. Oh, this is a Grass-type Colossal. Don't you dare be a Grass-type Colossal. Oh no. Oh no. Did not think about that. I should have Draco'd that one. No. No, they got me. That's game winning for them. Didn't think about that in the slightest. They still have their terrestrialization. So it's a good thing for them that they didn't go for the Terra Fire Eruptions. Because I KO my own Salamence, and then I just lose the Breloom. So I Draco'd the wrong way round there. To cover for that, obviously, like Draco would KO the Colossal from there, and then I can Spore the Torkoal, and then just Draco it again. But There are a couple of things, like Draco at the start would have been lovely, but not as necessary. The main thing was I got the Counter Cleave into the wrong target. Because if I KO the Indeedee, like, if Kingambit is able to get off an attack, it would underspeed the Indeedee, KO the Indeedee, and then Rotom would be able to Thunderbolt the Torkoal, which would be better than the Counter Cleave. So even though, like, that was an unfortunate endgame and I did get a bit unlucky, I could have also played better to avoid that. Okay, so there is Annihilate Mousehold once again, but also just a Trick Room mode. So, without knowing if they are Vital Spirit or not on the Annihilate, it makes things a little bit awkward. I do want to leave with at least Sylveon, and Arcanine is risky because of Annihilate. Breloom is risky because of Annihilate, like both for different abilities. So I wonder if Mach Punch KOs the Mousehold. I don't think it does. I'm going to cover for everything here because they got the Trick Room mode they could go with as well, which makes it quite tricky. I think I'm going to go with Salamence and Sylveon. Oh, that intimidates the Annihilate as well, doesn't it? Just don't want to intimidate it if I don't know if it's Defiant or not. So I'm going to go with Rotom, actually. I want Kingambit. I think Arcanine is probably best here. Yeah, this is an awkward one, because like Annihilate Mousehold is okay, but then having that hard Trick Room mode to cover for as well is not ideal. Oh, they copied my training card, that's rude. What was this music? I don't remember this music. This sounds cool. But they didn't go with Annihilate, so this is okay. So, they're going to fake out the Sylveon. Like, that's the best one. Oh, no, I do recognize this. And then I'll Volt Switch the Photograph. It's always going to be the Sylveon. There's no point protecting it. Like, that chip damage might come into play, but it gives me the opportunity to protect this turn. So this is slightly better. So I'll go into Arcanine for the Intimidate on the Hariyama here. And then, because they're going to get Trick Room. And then they'll get their Flame Orb. Close Combat's still going to hurt the Arcanine for sure. I will just go for a Hyper Voice here. There's not much stopping that. And yeah, take care of the Hariyama so that Kingambit gets freed up. Helping Ham might have been better, actually, just in case I do get KO'd on the Arcanine with a Hyper Voice in the close combat. I shouldn't. Yeah, I shouldn't. There you go. But I'm taking Flare Blitz Recoil, which I wouldn't have needed to take as well. And I'd have also done more damage to the Photograph. So, because that might have KO'd. But then that gives the paid switch into the Torkoal. But I'm giving the paid switch into the Torkoal regardless, because it's KO in the Hariyama. Oh, okay, I do get the double KO. Fine. Then, okay. So, the Torkoal... Oh, is this going to be Cudchew? Is it randomly going to be Cudchew? It better not be. But actually, the Torkoal is going to be quite annoying here. But I've got Terra... No, I've got Terra Water on the Sylveon. So I definitely go for that. And I don't KO the Photograph, which actually I probably prefer. So that was actually a good Citrus Berry for me. But here's Torkoal. I should survive with a Water-type Sylveon, right? I really should. And if I don't, I just lose. Because I've let myself take a lot of chip damage. They are not terroring on the Torkoal, so that's good, because I should survive now. Unless they solo, like, make a ball of play and solo beam the Sylveon. I'm also going to see this turn if they are actually Cudchew. So, Oh, okay. If they Terrified, they definitely... well, surely KO, but Sylveon should still survive, right? But double helping hand. Sylveon. Nice. Very good. So, yeah, they probably felt that the Terror was unnecessary there because it would have just KO'd the Sylveon regularly. But I will find out this turn if they Armor Tail or Kudju. Because then, can I Sucker Punch this Torkoal now? Because, yeah, that Eruption is pathetic now. But they are Armor Tail, I'm going to assume, because they did not go for... they didn't have a Kudju activate. I've never actually seen Kudju activate. I don't know if it actually shows the animation. I assume it does. But... yeah, this is okay. It's just which one do I go into now? Because I can't remember what they have in the back. Annihilate, Mouse Hold, and their own King Gambit, I think. Because I can't Sucker Punch them. But I should survive any Fire-type attack that the King Gambit, the Torkoal goes for now. Because I can go for Hyper Voice and get double KO. Also depends if they're specs or not. How many Sun's Trick is left? It's 2, isn't it? Yeah. Do I protect? I think I do. And then I will attack the Torkoal slots. Because then if they switch out, and if they are specs, they're not specs. So this might just be Heat Wave then. If it's Flamethrower, I'll probably lose the King Gambit. It's just Heat Wave. I should survive. Then they should... oh, no. Attack into the Farigiraf was way better, because then that takes care of Armor Tail, doesn't it? Oh, I don't survive. Okay, that's not good. So regardless, I think I was pinned. I can still go for the double protect on the Sylveon, for sure. But them not being specs wasn't ideal. So... obviously, I deserve a double protect, so I'm going to get it, and then I Thunderbolt the Farigiraf. Because the Torkoal supposedly can't do much to the Rotom. If it goes for Solar Beam, then fair enough. But, of course, I'm going to get this double protect Sylveon. Rude. But, of course, I'm going to dodge this Heat Wave, Sylveon. Okay, come on, Sylveon. You're supposed to be doing stuff here. But, yeah, I need to Oko the thing that's not the Torkoal with the... Rotom. It's a shame that Torkoal survived that Terra Blast, because that was very close and that could have been rolled. It's also a shame I didn't have Discharge here. So, not ideal. That helping hand on the Farigiraf was very good for them. But I think regardless of whatever it is, I can't Oko it with the... yeah, the Sylveon, not King Gambit, yeah. So I need a Thunderbolt full paralysis into all of the full paralyses, which is not likely. No, it's almost a 2-shot. But no Thunderbolt full paralysis, so yeah. Not ideal. King Gambit going down there was a bit surprising, because I am quite bulky. Like, I would like to know how likely that was to KO. Because that was definitely Charcoal Heat Wave. It's just, like, if I survived with the King Gambit, then I should have been okay. But I did not. Okay, reasonably standard. So, they've got Grimmsnarl over Murkrow, which I do like. I think that's a good change. So, Breloom's not very good here, because they've got 2 things immune to Spore, potentially 3 if the Annihilate is Vital Spirit. So I don't like Breloom here at all. Salamence could be good, because it outspeeds the Hydreigon. So Salamence as a lead is pretty reasonable. But they could be a Defiance Annihilate, so I need to be careful. Sylveon is very good, so I will bring Sylveon. It's just whether it's a lead or not. And I think it might be actually reasonable to go as a lead. Then King Gambit's very good. Definitely bring King Gambit. And then Rotom is reasonable, so is Arcanine. Might actually lead with Arcanine and Sylveon instead of Salamence and have Salamence in the back. I think that's okay. Because most people would lead with their support thing, so it's likely going to be a Grimmsnarl lead. But then that would be okay. Well, that's a cool trainer card. Still needs to do mine. Ah, the best music. Excellent. But there is Goldengo, so that's okay. Do I want to immediately Terror with the Sylveon? Is that worth it? Because I'll easily survive. Did I want to Terror the Kingambit at all? I don't think so. So yeah, I will just go for the Terror here and get the Throat Spray going. And it's just whether I Flare Blitz the Goldengo or I Snarl it. And I think I Snarl it. I think I prefer that. And then this is where the Grimmsnarl fakes out, and then I don't get the extra damage with the Hyper Voice slash the Snarl. But yeah, I'm glad I did not go for Flare Blitz there. But they are actually now weaker to Hyper Voice. So that was probably suboptimal from them. We're also going to see if they're a Scarf slash Timid Goldengo as well, because my Arcanine outspeeds a Modest one. If this is Nasty Plot, that's probably worst case. But I'm still chunking with the Hyper Voice, so then that's okay. Slide screen, hey, that's fair enough. But Snarl first? Snarl first, good. So they are not a Timid Goldengo, and that's better for me, because now they are going to be a bit weaker with this Make It Rain. Assumedly Make It Rain. And if it's Shadow Ball, that's still not doing much damage. It is just Nasty Plot, okay, so I'm just cancelling that with the Snarls. So not the worst thing, and this is actually going to do reasonable damage with the Hyper Voice now as well. Yeah, like that's a nice chunk, and that two-shots the Grimmsnarl through the light screen. So I will once again Snarl. And if they switch into Annihilate to catch that and get a Defiant boost, then they take a Hyper Voice on the way in. So I'm okay with that. And if the Annihilate is in the back, it can't Terror into a Fire type. So this is still okay. The Goldengo has to Nasty Plot once again, and then if it does, I reckon another Hyper Voice and then a Flare Blitz would KO it. So we'll see if it's going to be Reflect on this turn. And if it's not, then I should be able to KO the Goldengo. Otherwise, I probably won't. But yeah, they are just attacking. That's probably a Spirit Break then. But because they're attacking, I've got some speed on the Sylveon, I think. So we'll see if I outspeed the Grimmsnarl. If I do, that's very good. So they're back to neutral now, so not doing as much damage. Just a Shadow Ball. That's not going to do that much. Unless they're Life Orb, then it'll do actually okay that amount of damage. But yeah, that's not much. And I do outspeed. That's very good. So no Reflect for them. That Goldengo is surely in Flare Blitz range. So that's pretty good. I am perfectly content with this as a start. Oh, it's Citrus Berry, okay. I am not as content as with this as a start now, because now I don't KO the Goldengo. I can still Snarl it again, and then it's kind of useless. But, yeah, I would have liked to just been able to Flare Blitz KO it. But there is the Annihilate, and they can't go for Terror with it. So, that's okay. I don't want to Snarl it. Don't want to Snarl now, because then that would give them the potential Defiant boost. So I think I will just Will-O-Wisp it instead, because Goldengo is not that effective at the moment. So I will attempt to Will-O-Wisp the Annihilate. Because they can't Terra Fire to avoid it, so now they're going to be burns. Lumberry was a thing right at the beginning, and it's not really a thing anymore. So this should be okay. And that doesn't count as a Rage Fist activator, which is good. Oh, it is Lumberry, wow. There goes my logic. What? Rawstberry? What? You better have a Lumberry somewhere else as well. Like, what? Rawstberry. Like, if there's not a Lumberry somewhere else on the team, that is just objectively worse. Because Paralyses is a thing as well. Like, they're surely Vital Spirit now. But, yeah, that is a surprising item. But that's a good turn. Catching the Protect and the Annihilate very nicely. Yeah, Rawstberry. Are they not Terra Fire as well? Like, because you're Terra Fire to avoid the burns. Rawstberry. I want to know where the Lumberry is, because there better be a Lumberry somewhere else on that team. But this is still perfectly reasonable. Like, this was my lead, and I'm still doing perfectly fine with it. And, I was going to say, they're going to be a burned Annihilate again. Because now the Rawstberry is used. There is Hydreigon, so that's okay. Actually, is the Annihilate in Flare Blitz range? That might be Flare Blitz range. What did I have in the back? That's not what I have in the back. Oh, I have Kingambit and... Yeah, okay, so I should be okay when it comes to that. So I will attempt to Hyper Voice and likely lose my Pokemon. And I will attempt to Flare Blitz the Annihilate. And because even if it doesn't KO, I can just Sucker Punch it. So... They could get a double KO here if they Draco Meteor, but then the Hydreigon's useless for the rest of the match. Unless they have Focus Energy. But I even outspeed the Hydreigon. That's quite surprising. Ooh, and it doesn't KO. Ooh, some good bulk in the Annihilate there. Start Pulse, that will KO now. And Rage Fist might KO now. That's quite a slow Hydreigon. Because my Arcanine only outspeeds Modest Goldengo. To be fair, Hydreigon can justifiably outspeed Modest Goldengo and stop there, so he might Speed Type. But Rage Fist does not KO, because it's only at 100 at the moment. But the fact that I outspeed is very nice. Now, Snarl is the most optimal thing to go for here. Like, Snarl and Draco Meteor would be probably the most optimal thing that can happen, but then I might as well just go for 100% KO, and then the Draco Meteor being 90% accurate. So, should be okay. And are they Defiant? They are Defiant, so, like, the Lumberry becomes more justifiable when you're Defiant, because then Vital Spirit would have covered the sleeping, but Rawsberry, yeah, there's probably not worth. Like, it should be Lumberry instead. Paralysis is a thing. Sleep is a thing. Freeze is a thing as well. But we will see. This is the last one for this Salamence. Your last Draco Meteor you need to connect. You've not done so well so far. And this is where they're Focus Sash on the Hydreigon as well. Well done, Salamence! That did nothing. What? That's like incredibly Assault Vested. What is that? Like, that was ridiculous damage. Like, even Assault Vest should take a huge chunk. What just happened there? That's got to be like max special defense Assault Vest. Well then, I guess that's why the Arcanine outspeeds, because it is very Assault Vested. That was not much damage in the slightest. So yeah, I still just Flare Blitz the Arcanine, and I Iron Head the Hydreigon, and that is still just a double KO. But yeah, that was surprisingly pathetic damage from the Salamence. Probably look up that calc afterwards as well. Like, that's got to be max special defense. Like, maybe even Calm, because that was a Life Orb Draco. That should OHKO just a regular Hydreigon. So, but this is still like pretty much locked up, given the fact that, oh, we do Speed Tie. But Arcanine survives. Okay, cool. Fine. We did actually Speed Tie. Like, I called it. We did actually Speed Tie. So they've EV'd their Hydreigon actually pretty well. Because they outspeed the Goldengo. But, yeah. That got scary for a second, but I'm still okay. Because if that didn't KO, Annihilate Drain Punch KOs my Kingambit, and then I lose. So I guess it was technically optimal to Sucker Punch the Annihilate to cover for the fact that we could have Speed Tied. And I did say, like, Speed Tying is entirely reasonable on that Hydreigon, because that's a fine speed tier as well. But, yeah. Rawsberry.